Greetings, groovers, seekers of sophistication, lovers of literature, 'tis I, Nicholas of Hennegan here again, still banging up at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, and we're actually here today in a place called The Space for their launch, and you'll be able to hear their sort of festival launch. You'll be able to hear the entire launch later on bohemianbritain.com. But I've just bumped into a fantastic chap called Robin Strapp. And Robin, you're here as a reviewer, aren't you? I should have moved a bit closer. Sorry, hang on a minute. Let me move over. You're here as a reviewer for a very august organisation called the British Theatre Guide. And I know them and love them very much because they've reviewed my shows in the past.
Thank you for saying that. That's very kind.
They are it's one of those, if you get a British Theatre Guide review, people kind of take notice of that.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, there are various websites around now that, ireviewshows.com that aren't. But also, there's another side to your personality, which is a delightful side because you're involved with the Newbury Youth Theatre.
Yes, I was the founding director of Newbury Youth Theatre, and now I'm producer, and I have two directors who come up. It's a non-auditioning youth theatre.
What does that mean?
That means that anyone who wants to join can.
Brilliant.
For example, this year we've got two deaf children who are in it, who are absolutely wonderful. And it's a very new young company, and we're doing something called The Lost Letters, which is based on a true institution in Belfast. What they try to do is to reunite letters with the people who are supposed to have them, the recipients. And it's the size of 3 football pitches.
Wow, that's impressive.
So we've taken the concept, and we're doing a series of small stories. The one that I like most is a little girl who writes to the Tooth Fairy. And she says, I'm really concerned because you haven't come to collect my tooth. And I need the money to give to my mum because she's finding it hard buying food.
Oh dear, you got me.
And there's lots of nice influences. There's a lovely First World War story.
And so where have the stories come from? You say are they improvised?
These are ones we've devised, so
yeah.
It's a devising company, which is great fun because they can play with it. We improvise lots of ideas they have, and then we incorporate them and make them into a script. So it's tremendous fun. It's a very playful show, tremendous fun. We've got a soldier in the First World War writing to his daughter, but he doesn't want to talk about the horrors, so he invents a story about this ugly worm that churns up the whole of the earth, and it's just beautiful. It brings a tear to the eye, I tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine actually. That sounds.
And we've got fun. We've got one based on Love Island. I know it's a youth theatre show, but believe me, it's not like that. And it's 3 people who are isolated on an island. 3 different ones, so they write to each other, coming back to the letter idea, and put them in bottles out into the sea, and then they have this wonderful conversation. And one of the cast said, "Oh, it's just like being in Hawaii." And I thought, well, when did you go to Hawaii? So it's great fun. They're all wearing leis, and they've got bubbles, and tremendous. And they're coming up tomorrow, Saturday, from Newbury, and we stay at Queen Margaret's University at Musselburgh, which is a great place. About a 6-minute train drive, and it's much cheaper than living in the centre of Edinburgh.
I was going to ask, how many are in the group? How many are you bringing up?
We're bringing up 20.
Wow. And what ages are they?
Right, well, the very youngest for the first time ever is 12, and the oldest is 18.
And presumably there must be a gang of you if you've got to bring that many children up here. The health and safety and chaperoning. Mind you, I've only ever directed children in plays, so I guess it's different to a youth group.
Yeah, very much so. The risk assessments, you wouldn't believe the paper. So we've got 6 helpers. They're all DBS checked, and they enjoy it just as much as the kids.
I just say it's a fantastic opportunity there. I mean, for any young person to come to Edinburgh. I mean, without getting too political about it, because I've suffered this year, dear, with accommodation. It's you've been coming here for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, this will be the Youth Theatre's 24th show.
And you've been coming to Edinburgh.
And I've been coming for about 35 years.
So what would you say? And people say to me, because my first was 92 actually, I know they didn't come back till 97. People say, oh, it must be different now. And I guess it sort of is, but because if you do it every year, the changes are incremental. But what are your impressions of what the festival is now, or the Fringe?
When I first came, all the Fringe tickets were paper tickets. And it was run by Mrs. Tulloch and her daughter.
I didn't know that.
And all the tickets were in pigeonholes, and you'd come through and she'd take your tickets out and she'd say, oh, you know, son, you're doing ever so well today. And then you had to go down the crowd and see if anyone was waiting for a ticket. And what have we got now? QR codes.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, theoretically, they're easy to manage.
Well, if you say so.
Oh, all right. And I mean, there's been a lot of talk about the cost of accommodation, particularly this year, and having had a couple of years out for the pandemic and COVID. Where do you think the Fringe will be going in the future? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yes, I do. It's one of the biggest budget items we've got, and I think the Fringe Society have got to get grips with this, as well as Edinburgh Council. Because it will put people off. We can't afford to come any longer. And that would be a great pity. And I wonder, you know, it's an open access Fringe. It's not going to be anymore because people can't afford. Just can't afford it.
I know we did get a quote for a flat for 3 actors for this year of $10,500 for the month, which we couldn't do.
That's just ridiculous. That's why we go to Queen Margaret's. But it's fantastic there. They have ensuite rooms, and each room, there's 6 in a flat, and they cook for themselves, and just learn to operate as a theatre company. And we've been named by 3 Weeks as one of the most favoured children's show to come and watch. So we're really proud of that. And we won an award. We won a 3 Weeks Editors Award, a Bobby Award from Broadway Baby.
Oh yes, they're very prestigious.
Oh yeah, so I'm very, very proud of them.
Oh, you must be, yeah. It's kind of slightly different, isn't it, working with kids? So finally, where are you at? Where can we see you?
We're at the Quakers Meeting House, which is just down from the castle. And there's a really important reason why we go there. Unlike some of the larger venues who are money driven, all the profits that the Quakers make from the shows goes to charity.
Oh, wow. Yeah, oh, that's impressive. Yeah, I didn't realise that.
That really is ethically correct as far as I'm concerned.
Well done. So Robin Strapp, who is head factotum, producer and all-round good bloke. Good luck at Newbury Youth Theatre. It's called The Lost Letters, and you can see them from the 8th to the 13th of August at Venue 40, the Meeting House. Is there any further, if anyone wants to know any more about the youth group, is there a contact? Have you got a website?
Yes, there's a website which is www.youththeatre.co.uk. And thank you for speaking. It's lovely.
Oh no, thank you, Robin. Thank you.